Namaste everyone. Again start the broadcast. There's some construction work happening, so if you hear some of the background noise, I don't have much control over it. I'm just checking if it started on YouTube. Okay, we just started. Is the noise too much?
It's a bit noisy, but I think it's okay. I think we can hear you anyway. We don't know when it's noisy, when it goes and you talk at the same time. It might be
How
very. You have to go out and invite them.
Louder. Huh?
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I was just joking. I said you have to go out and invite them to come in. Whoever's doing the work outside.
Oh. Okay. Namaste. A warm welcome to everybody. Sadhguru Sri Moji Ji ki Jai. Sadhguru Sri Ananta Ji ki Jai. Sangha ki Jai.
Jay.
Ekka is here. He's saying Namaste. Watching at work, not even listening. Very good. I have a break, so just came to say hello. Hello. Big hello from all of us. So happy that Amba is here with us. Very happy that she's here with us. I had no idea about this background noise actually. I had no idea because they were not doing this work some time back. So this is quite nice. It just feels like it's sitting right under the construction area. Yeah, some of these things are very nice actually. Sometimes, sometimes in life it kind of makes you realize that nothing is predictable and nothing can be controlled.
Namaste.
Namaste, Rashmi.
Sorry, I'm just drinking my tea. It's okay.
Sorry?
I'm just drinking Ambaya tea.
So as you can see, there's a lot of background noise. I had no idea there was some drilling and construction work going on. Hi Nitya. honestly, it feels like today is going to be sharing with the drilling in the background. There's a constant drilling happening. And I had no idea actually, I had no clue because I wasn't there before this. I'm going to try speaking a little loudly till the time this is there, but it's so funny. It's actually a very, it's very helpful because sometimes it's like this. We don't know. Life is unpredictable, and it's outside our control. And we make do with what we have in some sense. We make do with what we have, and it's all good. It's always good. But it's like this. Sometimes what happens is the fact of the matter is that I'm sitting here, right under this drilling noise. It's almost like a drilling into my head, and I'm trying to talk. And it's very funny because I had no idea about this, and it's so out of the blue, and now I can't get up and go speak to them, and it cause all sorts of But it's very nice because it actually kind of shows you that nothing is really in your control. It's a very beautiful lesson in some way that you think something is going to go in a certain way, and the coin it spins like that at the at one time. So you can either, which isn't going to make a whole lot of sense in some way because any resistance. This is awesome. Yeah. Jesse's here. Namaste, Jesse. So Bhagavati ji says, and even for silent setting, actually it's a very good idea. I was also reflecting that maybe we can do some sort of a small guided meditation. If we can't do a full-fledged, if we can't do a full-fledged sharing, maybe one second. Maybe I can do one thing, Arjun. Yeah. So Jyotika is also here with us today. Please join us. You want to say hi? Jyotika is here. Can you go check with them on top? If you can just maybe go check with them. Yeah, either stop and something. They can stop for like half an hour. The fact is that when we are resisting something, Jesse says no audio again. No. I hope that you can fix that and maybe get around to. Bhagavati ji says, I love you so much love to you, Bhagavati. So happy that you're here. So it's like what I was sharing is the mind is it's a little like this, somehow the mind is here, and it's like this drilling noise is here, the mind is here. Irrespective of whether we like it or not, irrespective of whether we want it or not, we may want the drilling noise to stop, we may want the mind to stop, but in some way it's out of our control. But the resistance to it is what creates the whole problem. And it doesn't mean that because we're not resisting that a creative solution cannot arise. Like for example, what just happened now was some sort of a solution. Maybe we can go check with them. Or another one is what Bhagavati ji was suggesting, the reset silence. But it's just the way of things, These are the way of things. Like when there is a drilling noise happening, then these are the way of things. And there is absolutely futile in some way to resist it, to fight against it. Because ultimately even they are accepted and allowed here, and I think that's so beautiful. Like Amba says it's good, Nitya says very funny, Jesse says it's Radha says it's no problem, and Bhagavati ji so gracefully suggested we do a silent setting. So it's amazing that we have this sense of moving with what is here rather than fighting what is here. And I feel it's a great metaphor in some way that the drilling noise and the mind are actually. But Jesse says I can't get my audio to work. Oh. Okay, I hope we can get it somehow. Nitya says no, that problem. Jesse, maybe if you shut the computer completely down and try again, it works. No, that problem. Okay, so maybe that's one option. Maybe Jesse can try that. Maybe we can start the guided meditation. Maybe we can just be here together and see what comes. Notice how you're here right now, just here, effortlessly. The space in which even the drilling is allowed. Okay, it's going to go on for 5 minutes. That's fine. Maybe we could, so we just started on the. So if anytime you feel like sharing something, just, and if anybody else also feels like sharing anything at all, it can be sharing, it can be an exploration. Yes. Bhagavati Jay says, I feel that the sound is guiding the meditation to simply be with what is inside. It's beautiful. So it's an open invitation for anybody. It's an open invitation for anybody to share whatever they feel. Last time actually we had a beautiful time with Jesse sharing some insights. So if there's anything you feel like sharing, you can share. Yeah. Namaste, Jesse.
Hi.
Hi. We can hear you.
I can hear you too. I gotta figure out how to mute this thing. Okay.
Great.
Can somebody mute me? I don't know how to
do a
mute.
small. If you feel like sharing, just drop a message or whatever we can. So let's just be here now effortlessly. Notice the reactions, if any, if any reactions are coming up. See that you are here, present effortlessly, without any condition. Just notice all the thoughts passing through this vast space that you are. Make space for the noise, or notice how that the noise is happening within you. Notice the chatter of the mind. attempt to change this moment just as it is. This moment, this eternal moment, with all its noises and not noises also, is effortlessly here. This presence, this space that you are, notice how it makes no condition welcoming even resistance. Welcoming the worst of the patterns, the mind pattern. You are simply here, effortlessly. All sounds happen within you. If you find your mind is agitated, you find your mind is wandering, just be the space for it, for all of it to happen exactly as it is. Make out of observe how you have no opinion about anything. Observe how you are not affected by judgment. Observe how everything is naturally unfolding in this beautiful way of life. Without your permission, without your resistance, with or without your resistance, with or without your permission, just here. You are the unmovable. All movements are welcome and rejoiced. There is no separation here other than a thought. And even thought is welcome inside of you. If there are any emotions, strong emotions, let them be drilling noise. Drilling noise. You have no control over it. You have no command over it. Notice the mind trying to create stories. And just with love and attention, just notice it. Somehow it seems to not stop. But notice that you have already stopped. Distinctions are true for you. You are the all-embracing one. You are the space, the completeness, embracing all of existence. Just right now, observe this silence is not a function of time. It's not a function of the body, not a function of the mind. This silence eternally remains with you as you. You need to do anything to deserve this. So any step and any action that happens can't undo this. This is silence is not something you deserve or step out of. Be open to all the feelings passing through you. Feelings of anger, feelings of being wronged, feelings of feeling stupid or sad. Recognize that there is something that isn't pushing these feelings away. Recognize that something inside of you is not pushing these feelings away as these feelings are arising. And it's not even buying these feelings or trying to change these feelings in any way. Place you buy into. This is not a place you reach. Just effortlessly you are. Your clarity will find you here. Your wisdom will appear from you. And heart. The mind can call this anything it wants. But just observe the mind without any judgment. If the feeling of being overpowered arises in you, just be present and let it play out. This is your state of grace. This is your state of openness. And it is a stateless state. You are the primary openness. Let the fear in your, if you're feeling fear in your chest region, or if you're feeling fear anywhere in your body, just let them stay. Don't touch them. Don't alter them. Let them stay. Put the fear also, just stay. This fear is like a drilling noise. Don't touch them. Just you remain where you are. Without any striving. Without any movement. Be willing to drown here. In this total openness. Profound not knowing. This is grace. As and when you're ready, feel free to open the eyes, but always always notice that even if the eye is open, you are still effortlessly. Whatever happens is happening, and just let it happen, but you are still here effortless. And you are the openness, the space which gives freedom to everything. Freedom makes no sense to you actually. You are just the space in which everything is allowed to come and go. No conditions, no requirement, no judgment. This space needs no anchoring because it's already you. You are the space, the openness in which all of this is happening. The effortless presence, pure awareness, total witnessing, and all embracing love. All different names to you. Be willing to be there. Any effort to alter anything comes up, just let it play. Whatever movements happen, however they happen, know that you are this. Okay. Even when you seemingly forget. No movement is restricted inside of you. Knowing thus, leave all movements to be free, including thought. As and when you're ready, just open your eyes and feel free for any movement to take. Piyush is here. Namaste Piyush. Welcome. Anybody feels like sharing something, feel free to share, or we can also be silent. You says my camera had some issues, can't show my face, but a lot of love to everyone. Okay. Magati just said laughing is present. Yes, namaste Shivani. I remember a long time back I had heard these words, and I remember somebody else sharing it to someone. They said that speak. They were in a group, so they were in a group together, and one person was saying this to another person. He said that speak only when your words add to the silence. Speak only so that your words add to the silence. Obviously, in the essence of it, it means speak from a place of silence. Because speech is not a problem. Externally, any speech can happen. You can even seemingly crack jokes and be funny on the outside, but internally, even that is coming from a silence. Somehow, we speak from a silence. And this is not a silence we deserve. It's not a silence that we get by doing good merits. It's something that we just already purely are. Before I forget, I must say to everyone that sometimes what happens is the power goes here. Is cut, or sometimes in case that if the broadcast suddenly stops, just know that it's because there's been a power failure or interference of issue. So none of that has happened as yet. Sometimes it may go something, so it's a helpful thing to say. Because last 2 times we just got cut off. Feels like the most. It was asking, is it only here that audio and video freezes? I don't know actually. I'm not finding it freezing today. Oh, it's freezing there also. Doesn't it come up? I don't know what. Okay, Radha says. Yeah, sometimes it happens. I think it's And I don't know what this is. I don't think I can do anything much about it right now because I have to disconnect the. If the internet seems fine. I remember I was also seeing the video chat sometimes like after the recording of the broadcast, and even I saw in between that it would get was freezing somewhere. But it's funny because when the broadcast is actually happening, it's a very smooth flow for me at least. It doesn't seem to freeze here. So we'll see. Not a contained state. Understanding of free means free, right? What does freedom really mean? It means freedom. It means unrestrictedness, uncontained, pure, natural. And it's the most simplest thing. Get to it till now. It is at the crux of our experience. It's not that our freedom is more strength in reading chants or mantras. Though of course it can help. I'm not saying it can't help, but it's not like we become more free because we've chanted so many mantras. Or it's not like we've done so many good deeds as a result we become free, because it's the crux of our experience. Freedom by its very essence means unrestrictedness, uncontained. That which is not bound. We don't need to deserve freedom. Because I think many of us have had some of these ideas that I need to do something to deserve freedom. But it's not something we deserve. It's something that we already are. One example, Nitya says, sorry, I'm right back, no problem. I want to share this one small observation, example that I was looking at. So in Bangalore, where we stay, there's quite a bit of traffic and there are a lot of roads. And in Bangalore, there is something called traffic police. So they are traffic cops. So the essential role of the traffic cops is to ensure that the traffic is smooth, that the traffic flows smoothly, and everything is in order. That's what the traffic cops do. I mean, they're kind of positioned there for. However, one of the things that the traffic cops do is they also catch some people while they're driving sometimes. So these are like police, but traffic only traffic police. So these traffic police, sometimes they can do random checks. So for any driving vehicles, they just kind of wave out and they stop these driving vehicles and they do random checks. They check whether you have your documentation in order. They check whether you have your license. They do all of this. So these traffic policemen keep the traffic cops, these traffic policemen keep doing this quite often. And that tells you something. And I've always noticed one thing about these policemen is that the general response to everybody when they see a traffic policeman is that they actually go the other direction, or they try to go far away from them. The minute they see a traffic policeman, they try to go away far. And it's a very natural, instinctive response, I guess, because the minute you see them, you're like, okay, I'll stay away. And funnily enough, the minute we go away from them, the traffic policemen chase us. They kind of sort of like, they see you going and they kind of hunt you down. To get to check for documentation and all that, it's a little painful or something. But then off late I noticed one thing, that whenever, it doesn't matter whether I have documentation or not. I mean, mostly of course I have documentation. But I noticed one thing, that whenever you go very close to the traffic police, like you really go right up to them. So if they're doing a check and you go right up to them, you're right close to them, and they never catch you. Somehow they never catch you. If you go right up to them, if you go close to them, they don't catch you. And I'm always amazed, there's something to it, because I feel like, so these days whenever I see a traffic policeman, my instinctive response is to go right towards them. Because somehow when they see you coming towards them, they kind of feel like, oh, he's coming. So somehow I was wondering, is like, how would it be if we start being like this with our minds? Instead of running away from our minds, we go to our mind. We give a complete attention to it. We really are open to staying with the mind, not running away, not being afraid, but going right, very, very close, right at the entrance, very close to the mind, and we stay with it without judgment. We give it our full attention, right up to it, but let's not giving it our belief. As the father always keeps saying, don't give it your belief, but be willing to go right up to these thoughts. And the thing is, if you feel that there is some suffering, and if you go right up to them, you will start noticing that they lose their power over you. Somehow thoughts start to lose their power over you, because now you're walking towards them. And when you start walking towards them, somehow it's like they lose their grip over us, because they draw their strength from our avoidance, from our running away. The point to be meditation also, because we were just, all of us were going through it. The complete sense of openness. In pure awareness, there is a total openness for everything to be as it is, without alteration, without any change. It is only our running away that hurts. Only our avoidance that hurts. Willing to give complete attention to thought. Be willing to observe. Be willing to see the movement of thought. Because only when you can understand thought, only when you can understand something, you can truly go beyond it. Only when you can understand something, you can go beyond it. Or the more accurate way of phrasing it, when we stay with our thoughts without judgment and just noticing it, then we are already not in its web. We are not caught inside it. Sometimes also I see that just noticing thought is not enough. Okay. So Piyush has a question. I think it's a very powerful question. So Piyush says, Ram, how do you deal with the urge of speeding up dissolution? Sometimes this thought comes strongly that, oh Grace, oh Shiva, completely rip this head off. Don't give a single moment of illusory separation now. Don't play like this anymore, just crush everything. Allow me to melt completely at your feet, burn everything fully. This is beautiful. You see, the very power in these words will take care of everything. And I know you may feel a little like I'm not sure, but I can assure you that this is what my masters and my teachers have always said. The very seriousness with which you're approaching this will take care of it. And though you may not see it right now, but this seriousness is on its way. It's in a complete way to burn away everything that you will know. It will be the end of your world. You can be totally rest assured. Because there is a power in which we say these words, you see, and I can sense the power when I feel it in my heart, because it feels like it's like that. You know, so it's very beautiful. So I read, but the first thing I want to say is don't worry about this urge of speeding up dissolution. Because in some ways dissolution is not in your control. But what is in some way in your control is to totally hand yourself over, which is what you are doing. So this urge to speed up dissolution, I mean, I would say it's a very, very auspicious urge. So somehow I don't feel like saying anything that it's false, because sometimes this urge to speed up dissolution, at one stage it's very, very helpful. But at another stage we can look at it, after a while we can look at it back again. But this very power that is making you say these words, and this very seriousness that is saying these words will take you all the way. So absolutely don't worry. So then he further goes on to say that I understand that one has to be the birthing. So sometimes it gets very intense. It can get intense, you know, because it's like a completely you know, it's like they do these things in the roads, right? They kind of dig these roads, and sometimes when you're undigging something, or sometimes when something's been wired and you're trying to unwire it, you have to go through that little bit of ups and downs. And you know what the good news is here? The good news is here is that you're not alone in this. Everybody is together, and somehow you going through these ups and downs. When you go through these ups and downs with an honesty in your heart, after a while you start becoming a contributing power in the world. And this is true for all of us, because we can speak about these things to the world. You know, we are going through this not just for ourselves, we are going through this on behalf of the collective, on behalf of the world itself, on behalf of humanity. Because imagine tomorrow somebody comes to you and Piyush and says, I'm going through this, Piyush. You yourself will be in such a more powerful place to speak to them and talk to them. Because if you hadn't gone through this, what you're going through, this intensity, it won't give you that compassion. It won't give you that humility that can only come from grace. You know, there was this singer, I forget his name, and I love this example. I think it was a ghazal singer in India. I forget his name. Anyway, I forget his name. But basically, he was a very beautiful singer. This ghazal singer, he was an amazing singer. And he sang very, very nicely. But after a while, he kept singing and singing so well that he started taking things for granted. So after a while, he developed arrogance. He developed pride. And he started feeling that he's an amazing singer. And and with arrogance and pride comes its own set of, with his own set of things. Basically, so he became distant and aloof, and he was arrogant and he was prideful. And then what happened is he lost his voice. He had some cold or some infection or something, and he lost his voice. And he was totally destroyed. His whole fame went, all the riches went, all the money went, all the attention went, and he was destroyed. He was totally destroyed. And he was destroyed, and he stayed in that destruction. Now he was singing, but he couldn't. He had become a little arrogant. After that, he made a prayer. He made a prayer, and I love this prayer. He made a prayer from the bottom of his heart. He said, "If I sing again, I will sing only to preach you." And he's saying, God, if I sing again, I will sing to preach you. I will bear your voice. And after this whole thing that he went through, he then started singing. And people say that his voice had such a quality of nirgun, it had such a purity, it had such a quality to it that it would give you goosebumps to just listen to it. Sometimes we go through like this. We have to go through like this because this intensity is bringing out so much in you. Is making you much more of a compassionate being, much more of a pure. There is this this intense burning passes. Okay, no. While resting in being, but sometimes it gets very intense. There is no aversion to it though, which is good. In fact, when this intense burning passes, there is a sense of tremendous release. But there is an intense sense that please take my head fully, increase the fire if it has to, burn every delusion and all of arrogance completely, no leftover. Yes. And like I said, this very seriousness is taking care of you. This complete urge is taking care. You see, this is an important part in every person, in every being's journey through life. This is a very important part that we all go through. So what I really want to tell you is I've also been through this. Everybody, each of us have been through this, and it's a very beautiful process. I would encourage you to not be very hard on yourself. I would encourage you to not by saying I have to go and have a little visitor. It's very cute. Sure. Very nice. So grateful you could be with us, Amba. So much love. She says hello. I was saying, this attitude itself, please take my head fully. This seriousness itself is guiding you. And yeah, the rest I would encourage you to not be very hard on yourself. Not be very hard on yourself. Don't resist anything. Don't resist these things because these are very integral parts of your own journey. And I want to tell you right now that you're already free. And your entire journey is from freedom to freedom. Remember this. It will save you a lot of heartache. You're not reaching anywhere to be free. You're already free. And you're going from freedom to deeper freedom. It feels very true to say this because we are all always going from freedom to deeper freedom. So Piyush says no resistance but strong urge to burn completely. Yes, that's fine. And there is also a sweetness about this whole burning thing. Yes, exactly. I feel this burning thing, this willingness to give yourself up for the divine, for the truth, is a very sweet and a beautiful thing that is born from truth itself. So I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to say anything about it because it's very auspicious. Very auspicious. Don't worry about speeding up the process because we are on a beautiful schedule here. We are on God's schedule. And God's schedule is perfect. Perfect timing. So don't try to change any of it. Go through this with a deep sense of love. Oh, Jesse said something on the chat. He said, wanted to say that whenever a policeman gets behind me while I'm driving the mind, get very active and my body reacts as if I'm being pulled over, even when I know I'm not. The body is innocent. Yes, but it has no choice but to react. Then I see that I see this heart racing, adrenaline pumping, get I'm on mode. Yes, yes. Completely. Yeah, I completely see that. And I feel there's something in all of us when we see cops, there's a fear. Like even though we haven't done anything, there's some sort of a fear. So, thanks, Piyush says thank you, Piyush. So we are on the perfect schedule. The mind will say that okay, I need to get free faster or I need to push something, but we are on a perfect schedule. And always recognize that it's from freedom to freedom. Any movement cannot deny you your freedom. In fact, all movement is only reminding you of your freedom. Any movement cannot deny you of your freedom. All movement is reminding you of your freedom. You says no worries or thoughts about this, only urge, strong urge, intense, yes. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful urge, and the urge will do its job unfailingly. Thank you so much. My boss has come, need to leave. Thank you, much love. Thank you so much, Piyush. Thank you. It was very, very nice. Thank you for the question and thank you for being open. Love you. Anybody has anything to say? Jesse, Nitya, Radha. You can just speak. If you feel like at any point, just speak.
Ram,
Yes, Jesse.
how are you?
I'm
I
good.
just
How are
wanted
you?
to, I'm good. I'm great. Thank you for your time today. It's wonderful.
Oh,
But I
thank
just
you.
I just wanted to sort of touch on that whole being pulled over thing. It's very interesting. You know what I mean? And you know, there was when I was younger and a little more wild, I had every reason in the world to sort of be a little fearful of being pulled over. And you know, now that I'm a little older, I really don't have any reason to be afraid. But it's just an interesting study in conditioning that, you know, I mean, my body feels like I'm being arrested, and the reality is, I'm sitting in my car, going the speed limit. My plates are current. I don't have any reason to be afraid, but literally my body just freaks out, you know, and I sit there and it almost makes me laugh. I mean, my heart is pounding out of my chest, and it's funny how adrenaline flows, and the way that it sort of shows up in me is my legs start to hurt, you know, like there's a constriction in my body. You know, it's a physical thing. So it's and it'd be very easy to buy into that, get caught up in that, and let it escalate. But there's something really amazing about sitting there with a smile on your face, terrified. you know, I mean, physical terror, I guess, is the right way to say it, and everything's okay, So it's interesting that it's interesting that it's interesting that your body has no idea what's going on. It takes all its cues from your mind. So when there's pain or there's sadness or there's anger or there's whatever, it's so easy to feel like it's really real because everything around you is telling you that it's real, when truthfully it's not. So I just wanted to elaborate a bit on that, and I remember that all the time when something's happening, and I say, is this really happening? I mean, what's really happening right now? And the answer is almost always, well, nothing is really happening. Other than once you're sort of hooked. Interesting. It's good satsang to have the cops behind you.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, it's like it also kind of shows us that somehow that it's like almost like we don't need a valid reason to suffer or struggle. Sometimes it's just these emotions just come up from past and they just almost feel real, like you said.
Yeah. It's like it's real time. I mean, I think that if I was going down in a plane, I think I would feel the same way as if I was being pulled over. I mean, it's that intense. You know what I mean? And so it's like, you take all these cues from phenomena, and we're so conditioned to take our cues from phenomena, whether it's internal or external. But there's something that is sort of beyond all that, and that's who we are, is what is beyond all that. And so there's nothing that really ever happens from that perspective. But it's so easy to see other people react to their own reactions. I mean, I think that's what's interesting, is that I've sort of learned to not react to my own reactions, and when there's made space for that, everything is eternally okay.
Exactly. Good. Absolutely good. Eternally okay, and I loved what he said. Nothing is happening. Even when it seems like, you really ask, is it really happening? And then, very beautiful.
So, well, that's cool. Thank you so much.
Sorry?
I said, my boss is here too. I got to get my kids ready for school.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining me today. It's so beautiful to be among all of you. Such a blessing and so much love. Thank you so much for your openness. Thank you so much for just being here. May the love and wisdom and the eternal timelessness of Munjiji guide us each step of the way. May the simplicity and the ordinariness of Ananta bless our existence and all around us. May the unity, openness, brotherhood, and love of the Sangha be a shining example for us to live in harmony. As it already is. Rishi ji ki jai, Ananta ji ki jai, Sangha ki jai. Thank
Yay!
you so much, Nitya, for joining. Thank you so much, Radha, for joining.
Thank you. Bye bye.